Hi, this is Melanie of Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here with Kathy of Cinema Podcast, and continuing my tradition of sharing some of my favorite films with Kathy. We're going to talk about Khoobsurat. Now, the world has gone to hell recently, like literally the last couple of weeks.
It has.
News has been horrible, and I just told Kathy, I was like, whatever we had in mind, can we put it aside, because I just need to watch my comfort movie. And this is literally my go. I don't even know how many times I've watched it. It is I'm in a really bad mood, and it always brings a smile to my face. It's only 2 hours. Like, it is my comfort movie. Like, you would think, oh, Melanie would watch a Shah Rukh Khan. Yes, okay. But
the other comfort movies.
Yeah, that's some, maybe Robney Bonadi Jody of Shah Rukh films, which we haven't even watched yet. We still have another comfort movie on the list.
It's a long journey.
A long journey, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. But anyway, this is just a movie that is like a warm blanket for me, that just like a cup of hot cocoa. Like, it just is what the doctor ordered this week. I needed it so bad. And so I was like, and Kathy didn't know who Fawad is. And so I was like,
no idea. I know now. I definitely know now. He's on the radar.
Because he has been banned from doing Indian films since 2016. It's been a long drought. So this was he was a sensation in India because of two Pakistani soaps that were shown on Indian television. So one was called Humsafar, which I think means sort of like life companion, or, your soulmate. And then, which starred Mahira Khan, who also, she was in the movie Rais with Shah Rukh Khan. She was also on the cusp of Bollywood. I mean, she did appear in a major Bollywood film, but I'm just saying she was on the cusp of doing more, and she was also banned because she's from Pakistan. And then the other soap that he did was Zindagi Gulzar Hai, which is like Life is a Rose Garden, I think is the translation. But anyway, so picture me, Kathy, after 2014 when Khoobsurat came out, seeking out dodgy websites to watch every episode, some of them not even with subtitles, because I was so obsessed.
It's the eyelashes. It's the eyelashes. You can't, seriously, the most beautiful eyes.
I mean, not only that, but he just totally embodies that arrogant guy brought low by love trope. And in the other two, it's even more. There's a key scene in Zindagi Gulzar Hai that's like my favorite Fawad scene ever, where he's meeting this girl who might be arranged to be married with him, and she's kind of sizing him up like, this guy seems like an asshole. I don't know about him. And then she's like there's a juggle of hot tea cups, and he realizes hot tea is about to spill in her lap, and he catches it with his hands. Oh my God!
And burns his hands, I guess.
Yeah. Like, okay. Anyway, so this movie is also interesting because Disney, for a time, decided they were going to try to produce Bollywood films. And so they had a partnership. So this was Sonam Kapoor's father is Anil Kapoor. So this was also a production of Anil Kapoor's film production company with Disney. And it was like, for a hot minute, Disney was going to do, and all of the, it's very like Disney princess, Disney prince kind of marketing and whatever.
Beautiful.
Right? Yep. And then also Sonam Kapoor's sister, Rhea Kapoor, is a famous film producer. So
it's the Kapur dynasty.
It is like, the Kapur, yeah.
Totally. And then Ram Wimber Kapoor, they're all intertwined.
Right. So this is made to be a vehicle for Sonam, obviously, right? But then bonus, we get Fawad, right?
Yeah, we did.
Right. So the director is Shashanka Ghosh, who also did another project with Sonam Kapoor, A Viridi Wedding, which is a really super fun female-focused film. And the two writers are Indira Bisht and Juhi Chakravarti, which I kind of feel like this is a film that has a woman's touch, right? Definitely. Because this is like a woman's fantasy film. Like, literally, it's a prince. the palace.
And the female characters were very dominant in the film, and that's also where you can see there's that idea of like having a female gaze inside that movie, which I really liked.
Right. I mean, because it's not just Sonam, it's both of the mothers that have a very key role. And I love both of them. Now, you've seen Kirron Kher before. If you remember, she was the mother in Devdas that kind of, like put the kibosh.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Right. And so but the other, Fawad's mother is played by Ratna Pathak, and she is a favorite of mine. Like, she's a goddess in my eyes. Okay. Like, she plays the queen in the palace. And she is known for doing a lot of more parallel cinema, independent cinema kind of films, right? Like, she does more edgy things, but I love that she is just the mother in this, and she is just so,
so funny. Not taking any shit. Yeah, that's right. Nope.
So what were your, I just told you Fawad, but I didn't I don't even know if I told you the setup. So what did you think about the film?
Well, going in how it's going to end, but I mean, it's the like
journey.
You said, the classic Disney. Like they're from different sides of the tracks, basically. He's royalty, she's working class tech. She's a doctor, but still, compared to royalty. So and there's instant chemistry. So there you go.
Yeah.
And so you're waiting for that sort of like that oil and water to kind of finally mix, and it took a while. Like, there really wasn't a quick solution at all. Like, it took the entire movie for him to finally do it. But I think my only issue with, because first of all, it's gorgeous. I mean, the most flawless. It almost looked like this glamour lighting. They had just everything looks so beautiful and smooth and perfect. I mean, it's a gorgeous film. I've never seen skinned by beautiful. I mean, just amazing. And I was always blown away by how good everyone looked in that movie. She was a little annoying, honestly. Like, I mean, it just was like, I feel like she was purposely being very like rude and brusque and like not really being respectful of where she was or who she was dealing with. And I feel like it's kind of cute for someone who's like maybe 15. But when you get to that point, like, it just seemed like she was too old and too accomplished to be that kind of immature and kind of a jerk, a little bit.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, standing on the table in the middle of a dinner was like, so that was a little off-putting, and I felt like he could do better. I mean, as much as
I also thought the production designer, the costume designer, had a little bit too much fun with her outfits.
I did love her outfit. I'm like, oh, those sweatpants are very cute. I would like to have those cute pants.
But I mean, they purposely went for one of the wildest patterns that we can match together. It's not neon enough. We got to get more neon. Like,
right. She's putting her feet up on things. She's being really like, when she was slurping her food when she didn't know he was standing there. That was very funny. And but at the same time, at least she was aware she was being rude at that moment. Usually she wasn't aware, but she was very cute, and I was rooting for her, but I really wanted her to grow up for a second. And she kind of finally, it seems like when it comes to her job, she sort of took on the persona of being like, I'm going to make this work and you're going to get better. And this is the way I loved that. I just hated when she reverted from being the kind of cool professional, which I think as an adult, she could still be that and be a partner to him, to revert back to being like the kind of jerk kid that she sort of isn't anymore.
I mean, there's one thing of just being like kind of cutely clumsy, and it's another thing to be, like you say, purposely gauche.
but he pretty much, playing the straight man, because she had all the comedy, right? Playing the straight man, he dominates the scenes because you just want an adult in the room, first of all. But he had those beautiful eyes. He would look at her, and even when he was disapproving, I loved his sort of prudish, like, I preferred the prude to the rude, So I loved him standing there kind of like, but at the same time, kind of like, she's so cute though.
I know he carried that off, that dichotomy so well, where you could just tell he's like, I can't stop looking at her, but oh my God.
And he's so perfect. He looks like it. If you were going to do, and Disney does this, an animation of a beautiful prince, he is that. Exactly. In real life, he looks like an animated character. So perfect. It was so, I kind of wish they'd let him cut loose a little more. Like, they never really cut him loose. Like, that she would teach him to kind of, I mean, just
Right.
barely a little. I wish they'd really gone for it.
I know.
Like just
Yeah.
really like because
I
he's
know. Like,
so
give us
constricted.
10, give us 10 more minutes, people. Like,
Yeah, just a little fun, have some fun. And
yeah.
I thought the scene too when he go. I mean, we're kind of get ahead of it, but when he goes to tell the woman he was supposed to marry,
Yeah.
that
Aditya
made me sad.
Rahodari. Yeah, Aditya Rahodari.
Yeah,
That was one of her early roles. I really like her as an actress. She didn't have a lot
yeah,
to do here, but other
no,
than look gorgeous and
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's like he was really torn because this is a man who like lives for family obligation. Like,
hmm
how can I do this? Right? Like they
yeah.
had wedding portraits. What? Like
And I love like she seemed like his equal. Like she was professional. She knew the job. She was
yeah,
going to pull it off. Like I felt like they were a better match ultimately. I mean, I
right.
get there wasn't the chemistry and you wanted him to have fun and he was so, like you said, everybody was so serious and all that. But I feel like they kind of did her a disservice by making her seem like she's the big boring one he doesn't want to marry now. Like it, but she took
Yeah.
it. I loved her performance when he tells her. She's like, "I'll get over it." I
Yeah.
just love that. Like it's fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And I'm like, that's who you should be marrying. That kind of person. It's like, but we're supposed to be
But
on the
I
other
mean,
girl's
I
side
know,
because
but
he's
I
so
mean,
cute.
but how can you like that was the thing. It was sort of like the
Yeah,
theme is that how can you deny the chemistry, right?
exactly.
Like
And it was there.
and she brought life back into a house that was so
Yeah,
stilted, like 10 years, right? That
yeah.
nobody's going to talk about the accident and
Mhm.
why his father doesn't want to get well because he's dealing with the guilt and just
Yeah,
doesn't think he deserves to walk again,
yeah. That was.
So
I love her with him too. Like when she kind of starts bringing him around, he kind of starts smiling for a second, and then she says, like she mentions like the accident or something, and he just kind of shuts down again, and it was like
yeah,
you kind of see how he's shutting down physically and mentally, like he's just not
right,
going to get better. And so I
right.
did like how her sort of liveliness and the fact she wasn't being like just the staid doctor is sort of what is bringing him around. So that
Right.
was
I
actually
mean,
really touching.
I mean, it was a time capsule, right, of Wii tennis. Like, I mean, but I do love that because it's like
Yeah,
she's like, okay, let's just play a game, right? But
yeah,
she's getting him. He doesn't even realize what she's doing,
yeah,
and then you see Fawad like poke his head in and be like, "Oh my god, look what she's getting my dad to do,"
yeah, yeah. And he's
This
kind of like under, like in a way, she's casting a spell over everyone. Like he's like,
right.
oh, it's working for him too.
Yeah. I agree with you. She's a little bit annoying, but
Yeah.
you see where she gets it from her mom, Manju.
I loved her. It's
Of
like,
course.
Manju, say yes, Manju. They just kept yelling at her, say yes.
Okay, that scene actually was
So
one of
good.
the best of Fawad. Was he just because like he had seen this dynamic, had seen the zooms and whatever,
Yeah.
and he just kind of knows. I'm not going to take any shit from you. I'm
Nope.
just going to like,
You don't
this
have
is it. You're not going to have any grandchildren. You're not going to see anyone. She's going to
That's
get
right.
pregnant and she's going to look glorious and she's not going to be able to call
Yep.
you. Do you want that?
Yeah. Is that how you want it to be? And I love that he's like fought for her for a second. Like he was kind of in a way breaking free in that moment, even though he's
Yeah.
kind of being a little bit of an entitled prince, but that's
Right.
okay because he
Right.
is. So it's kind of nice to see. But it's like, how do you say no to that? How do you say no to the rich, beautiful, gorgeous prince who wants to marry your daughter? She was being very unreasonable.
But I do love Sonam comes out. You talk about wanting her to be a grown up. The
Yes.
only way that they signaled it, she comes out in a sari.
I
So
love
she's
that.
not in sweatpants, but it's a fuchsia pink, like bright mix.
Yes.
Sorry. Like
I
it's
love
still
that.
her, but it's like, okay, now I'm going to be a grown up, but I'm going to have my own flair.
Right.
So,
I'm going to come in, do it, and then I trip and fall like an idiot.
But
So funny. It's like, it's still her, which I kind of liked.
yeah. I mean, Sonam was willing to do the physical comedy,
It's very cute.
And I was texting Kathy while I was watching it. I'm like, okay, Fawad is also known as a singer. Like he sings
Oh,
for
okay.
himself in
Ah.
some of these Pakistani soap operas and stuff. He's known as being a singer, but he can't dance for anything. Okay, so I love the final. Like it's all up to Sonam to do everything.
That's right. You do it.
And he's just kind of standing there looking pretty. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
It's fine. It's fine. Let him be the straight man. He can just stand there and look good, and she can do her thing.
But I love it. Even the end credit, like
Yes.
he doesn't even try. Like it's just
This is not what it is. So that in a way it kind of makes it perfect. That's the kind of boring prince where he's like, I haven't learned how to dance because I'm a prince. So go ahead. It would have been funny though if he kind of learned a few steps. So he could have kind of done a few kind of relatively graceful, not too much because he's learning. It would be kind of cute.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, this is like smooth. It's like ice cream. It's sweet. It's beautiful. It just goes. There's no real trauma. You can just watch it and go gorgeous, more gorgeous, gorgeous, funny, gorgeous. Like it was just such a, you said, just a nice, beautiful respite from the world and from all the stuff I usually watch.
I know.
Kind of nice.
Yeah, we watched some other films this week that were much more violent, and it's like
much. Very much.
And this was, I was just like, can I watch Khoobsurat again? Like,
it was perfect. I'm so glad we decided to watch it because you're like, we need a break. I'm like, yeah, you're right. We do.
So exciting news. This was a red letter day because we're recording this on Sunday. And just before we started recording, I heard the news that the Bombay High Court has reversed the ban on Pakistani actors being able to work in Bollywood. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Yay, finally, some sane stuff in the world.
So, like I said, Fawad was on his way to conquering Bollywood even more. He appeared in a couple of films in 2016 before the ban. One is Kapur and Sons, with our fave Siddharth from A Gentleman, and then he plays his brother who's gay. Like, I think it was a role that no one in Bollywood was willing to take.
Wow.
And the queen in this also plays, she's in that film as well. And then he did a film with Karan Johar became enamored with Fawad, and
really? How's that? Why?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. But anyway, he appeared as a supporting player in A Dil Hai Mushkil, which stars Ranbir Kapoor, but Fawad plays a not quite so princely nice character in that one. Let's just put it that. But anyway, everybody was like crazed about him. He was going to have, Karan Johar was going to have him as a lead in big films. All stopped in 2016 when the Uri attack happened, and then it was all over. So it's been years now. So Fawad had basically just kind of taken, like he did one. I'm going to show you. Well, first we could talk about the posters as well, but I wanted to show he did one Pakistani movie. Look at this.
Whoa.
Legend of Malajat. So this was a sequel to a very famous film from like 30 years ago.
Okay.
And he beefed up for this one. Like it is so crazy different from this. So crazy different. Okay.
He still got the eyes though.
Oh yeah. Very intense. Very intense.
That's great.
So this movie, which came out in 2022, is the highest grossing Pakistani film of all time.
Wow.
And so I went to see it here. I mean, it appeared in like one Chicago theater, and I went to see it. And there's an evil female character, and her uncle was actually in the audience with me, and we were talking afterwards. And he's like, "She didn't warn me it was going to be like it's extremely violent." Like her character beheads somebody. I'm like, I wasn't ready for that. It's a very, very violent film. But evidently he has a film coming up called Neelofer. I don't know what that means, but that's an upcoming film with his co-star Mahira Khan that they did that Humsafar soap, which was so, took over. Like I said, everybody in India was waiting for every episode to come out. So,
that's funny.
But anyway, so that's the project that we know about. But like, oh, please, God. Wow. Both of them. Like, I love Mahira Khan too. So please, God, let both of them appear in some big films.
Let it happen.
All right. So looking at the posters with Kathy, because as everyone knows, Kathy, her daytime job is making movie posters, and I love her comments because she has such insight. I mean, does this scream Disney or does this scream Disney?
Especially that logo. Good Lord. I mean, this could be, if you animated them, it would be, and she's actually kind of got those animated little cute eyes that a main character would have.
I mean, it looks like Tangled or something, right?
It does. It totally does. Oh my God. Yeah. This is definitely just a shot from the film. You can tell.
Yeah, but it's just like, right. I mean, it's just the way she's looking at him, like the whole thing. It's just, and also the fact that you see more of her face because, as I said,
more about her. Yep.
She is the bigger star. She had been in other films before. This Fawad is the new guy, new kid on the block.
It doesn't do him justice at all. The shot, he does not look nearly as gorgeous as he is. It's like kind of, but you get it. Oh, now we're talking.
This is the poster that I totally like reveals their characters, right? Because
It
that's
totally
totally his look. Like
It's totally his look, and he's just like, oh my god, she's insane. And I love that she would put on these super, like I say, super bright patterns. Even when she was supposed to be kind of dressing more traditionally, she still brought her own flair. I love that she has the glasses on, and she was eating all wow. Yeah,
and she's doing the bunny ears.
Yep, hilarious. That's great. What's
But
in the background? Let's see. I guess it's a sunset. Yeah, it's just a sunset.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that
romance.
that kind of the desert kind of climate or whatever around there. But the royal Khoobsurat, the royal misfit.
Which one?
Yeah, I know exactly, right?
Who's the misfit?
But yeah, this poster is also totally because it's also just the frame.
Yep, you got the beautiful.
I mean, it's like I don't know, it evokes Sleeping Beauty, or I don't know, something. Totally do you know what I'm saying? Or like the magic mirror from Snow White or something.
Yeah,
that it just totally screams Disney. To
me. It's very cute. I like that a lot. It's very, very fun.
Oh my god! And Fawad in a traditional.
I love that. That's awesome. Oh man, there's a few little things I would have done differently, but it's like the frame is a little bit low res, and his hands are creating like a weird tangency underneath the logo. Like there's this weird, like I would have just gotten rid of those, So yeah, there's this weird.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I look at and then the background doesn't really combine with them very well. Like they sort of tried to warm up their faces, but they didn't give them any rim light to make them look like they're part of the environment. This is all just like Photoshoppy dumb stuff that I think about when I see it. But overall, conceptually, and just the shots of them are fantastic.
So, I mean, part of the theme of this is that there's another prince that they're trying to buy his palace to create a hotel.
Oh yeah, right.
And right now, I am planning my trip to
that's right,
to India, and we are going to stay in Jaipur, which is sort of near this area where this film is set. And so, like the palace that I really wanted to stay at, that sort of looked like the one in this one, is booked up for a wedding because I think that's what a lot of these former royal families have done, right? Is they've created hotels and created event spaces for fantastic weddings, weddings. So you can imagine, like when you see how gorgeous they are from this movie, you're like,
get to be a princess for a day. It'd be awesome.
Anyway, thanks, Kathy, for indulging me on my comfort movie.
I'm so glad you did, because I could see this get in my rotation when I just need some candy right now. I just need something pretty and candy like.
Yeah, and I, like there was I think it was on Threads or Blue Sky, there was kind of a what's a movie that show a picture from a movie that you've seen over 10 times. And I posted a picture. I mean, I could pick a number. I could pick Bahubali 2. I could pick but I picked DDLJ. I picked a scene from that as mine because I can't even count. I mean,
which scene?
I normally would pick like the meeting in the mustard field, but this time I picked the confrontation with her father at the end.
Yeah, that was great. That's where he sort of like funny grew up,
right? Because you didn't even say the name of the film; you just posted the picture, right?
Oh, that's funny.
And so, but my friend Elisa, who she posted a picture from Khoobsurat, and I said that was part of what spurred me to be like, yeah, that's what I need to watch again, because I was like, really? She's like, oh yeah. She's like, it's just. As you said, it just goes down so smooth. She's like, I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised. But yeah, I mean, she's not someone that I would think that this film would be her comfort movie too.
Yeah.
And it just is, right?
Interesting.
So that was kind of what spurred it. I was like, so what would your movie that you've seen over 10 times be?
Well, it's probably Jaws, but that's not really comforting.
No, it didn't have to be a comfort movie. It was just any movie that you had seen. Yeah.
I mean, Jaws is what I've seen the most. God, comfort movie wise, that would be a tough one because, I don't know. It's probably.
It was, the question was just any movie that you've seen over 10 times.
Well, that would probably be it.
Yeah, Jaws, that fits for you. Horror.
And, it's just got those great performances, like people who brought more than it required.
Okay, but wait a minute. A shark is an animal, Kathy.
I know. I think about that, and they did. All the shark had to do is swim away, just walk away. But it didn't. It could have easily swum. It obviously had an agenda, so it was on a shark because it had the dominant role.
Were you just saying? I know that's just a wooden shark. It's okay. It's okay.
It does help it look super fake. That's what helps. I want animals to look fake so they don't bother me as much. So, but Yeah, I know. Where nowadays I probably would have a little bit more of a problem with the ending of Jaws, but until then I was totally fine with it. And we're Scheider. Never been better.
Well, because you're like the animals winning. Yay!
I know. I always root for the animal, and honestly, I kind of would have in this even. You're not supposed to. I didn't think blowing it up was the right thing to do. Just let it go, man. Let it go while you're sinking.
All right, you know where to find me. Please like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And Kathy, of course, is on Cinema Podcast. I will have the link in the description below. We're back and forth on each other's channels doing videos together. So do check out her channel as well for more videos of us together.
Yes, get it. See more.
Thanks, Kathy.
All right, bye.